So what's up, y'all? Morton 245 here, and today take a look at this 12-inch Ghost Rider. So stay tuned. Now this is the ultimate Ghost Rider from the Ghost Rider movie line. I think these were made by Hasbro. I could be wrong. I believe it was Hasbro, but I'm not 100% for sure. So feel free to comment. But now they made a bunch of toys in that line, a bunch of figures and stuff. But this was probably the most sought after one and the most expensive now in the aftermarket because these are not cheap by any means. This one was pretty expensive when I got it, and they still run pretty high. So which I do have one other figure from this line, in which I will compare this figure to later. And this is a 12-inch figure, so this is out of the scale that I tend to collect. So that's why it takes up a lot of space in my review station here. So it's going to be a little tricky trying to review this. So let's start with the articulation of the figure. So for articulation, this Ghost Rider has a ball joint at the head and also a hinged jaw, which is not, it should be hollow right there. Why it's not, I don't know. But you can see it's also an articulated joint at the neck there. It's got a hinge and a swivel at the elbow, a double hinge at his shoulder. Elbow. I got it backwards. He's got a hinge at his glove there, a hinge at the wrist. All of his fingers are individually articulated, so they can all articulate. You can get them into gun wielding poses, anything you want to except the thumb. The thumb's the only one that's not articulated. The waist has an ab crunch, which is kind of snappy and crackly. He's got a swivel at his waist, a ball joint at the hip, and a swivel there at the hip as well. There's also another swivel at the hip there, which is kind of hard to, swivel is kind of stuck. He's got a double joint at the knee, and pivot, a little bit of pivot and hinge at the ankle, and a hinge at the toe. So let's go over the sculpt, design, and color of the movie Ghost Rider here, starting with his head. Now this is based off the movie version, and now I do have a 6-inch comic book version, but unfortunately I won't be able to show that figure off because when I went to get this figure off the shelf to do a review, that one took a tumble off the shelf, and when it did, it hit its head on the floor and snapped the ball joint off. So now unfortunately I can't show you that figure. I have to now fix it, but I'll get to that later on. But as you can see, this one, the flames on his head, I always thought it was kind of strange looking because it looks like, kind of like hair on top of his head. It looks like he just got out of bed, like he's having a bad hair day or something. But as you can see, they're kind of orange and translucent, as you can see. And I think they could have done the flames a little bit better. But, it's not too bad, though. His skull there, as you can see, is pretty detailed. It's got a lot of, dirty paint apps in there. And his jaw is, like I said, articulated, but it's not hollow like a jaw should be. So that's kind of strange. But it looks like he's got a gum in there. But you can see the jaw is articulated, which is pretty cool. His neck has also got that same kind of paint wash in there, which is pretty cool. He's got a leather motorcycle jacket on, which I have a jacket very similar to this myself, actually. Now, his has got the spikes jutting out of it, which he only has that in his Ghost Rider 4. But this is the second jacket that he wears in the movie because he gets his jacket from the guy in the jail because his jacket got the sleeve got ripped, and so he took this jacket off the other guy, including the gloves, which I'll show you in a minute. But as you can see, the jacket has a kind of a gray wash over it, as you can see, which makes it look a little bit dirty, which is pretty cool. He's even got a wash on his pockets of his pants there. And as you can see, his gloves, like the jacket, he got these gloves from one of the guys in the jail, so they got the spikes jutting out of those too. He's also got, I think I forgot to mention, he's got a wrist hinge right there. This figure's got so much articulation, I kind of forget what's articulated and what isn't. But as you can see, the gloves have a pretty good wash on them as well. His belt, he's got some silver paint apps on the zippers and his belt buckle there, and a lot of details and wrinkles in his pants. So these are supposed to be leather riding pants, so that's why they look kind of leathery, as you can see. Was the Terminator also wore leather riding pants, but as you can see, pretty cool. The pants don't have as much paint detail on them as the rest of his clothes. And on his feet there, he's got, pointed motorcycle boots, which in the movie he wore more rounded boots, but these are really pointed like a cowboy boot, which is pretty good fashion since I'm a cowboy boot wearer myself, so that's pretty cool. Okay, so the motorcycle here, now it's hard for me to pan out and show the whole thing because, like I said, this is a pretty big, set here. This is being a 12-inch scale. This is out of the scale I didn't collect, like I said. So this is a little tricky trying to film this here. But I also got to mention this figure did come with one accessory in the form of it has chain that he uses as a weapon. And unfortunately, when I got this, it was actually missing. I didn't notice that, so I did get this used. So unfortunately, I don't have that piece to show. But now I do have the bike here, which is pretty important piece for a Ghost Rider, because that's his cherry, I should say. As you can see, the front wheel has got fire all around it because in the movie, but there's no fire right here, so you can actually roll it. So it's pretty cool. And the flames have like an orange paint apps to them, so it's pretty cool. The frame itself right there has got looks like chains, which is pretty cool. This part right here, the front, looks like a skull with fire coming out of his eyeballs. I thought that was really cool looking. And now the gas tank, like in the movie's got the skull hands coming up over it and covering it, which is pretty cool. And now the frame here looks like a kind of like a spine, as you can see. There's where your foot pedals would be. The engine looks like it's merged with the bike itself. Looks really hellish, no pun intended. And pretty cool, And as you can see, more details. It's got like a black wash to it, which looks pretty cool. The seat looks pretty cool. It's got like a fiery detail, like a leathery seat. It's got a chain going all around it. The back wheel, like the front wheel's got fire around it, but there's none on the bottom, so you can roll it. And the back fenders here have like a spine with some paint details on it, which is pretty cool. Now the other side is about the same thing, but you got the exhaust pipes coming off this side, which look really, really cool. And the flames actually kind of starting to bend out right there. But as you see, it's pretty much the same details on both sides right here. So it's comparison time. And as you can see, now here's the only other figure I have from this line, but I think that small one's called Raging Ghost Rider, I think. I'm not 100% for sure, but which that one's supposed to have like a light up feature with the eyeballs too. And as you see, it's basically the same figure, just the other one's got the light up features. But as you can see, I do prefer the 12-inch one because it's just it's basically just more basic figure. The other one's got light up features and things that hinder it, and that one didn't come with the bike either, so that's why I got the bigger one because it came with the bike. I don't know if any of the small ones came with the motorcycle or not. I mean, I could be wrong, but I have to do some research on it. So what do I think of this figure overall? I really like this figure, and it's one of my favorites in my collection. And now, like I said, these are pretty expensive from the aftermarket, so you might want to watch what you're spending. It's just something you're gonna have to invest in pretty good because they're, like I said, they're pretty expensive. But it's a well worth item though, and it's a pretty cool item. It's a lot cheaper than the Hot Toys one, and the Hot Toys one does look a lot better. Because this is a cheaper version, but it's not bad to be a cheaper version. And now the submachine gun right there, he didn't come with that. I got a bunch of 12-inch GI Joe weapons, so I decided to put one in his hand there. It looks pretty cool actually. It's hard to get him to kind of hold on to him because of his fingers, because they're all are articulated. So it causes a little bit of problem trying to get him to hold guns. But because I was gonna try to put his Uzi in his hand, but he couldn't hold it good. So that's why I put that MP5 in his hands right there. But so if you like this figure, you want to see more 12-inch reviews. I do have some more 12-inch figures. So if you want to see any more 12-inch reviews, give me a thumbs up and leave a comment down below. And don't forget to hit the subscribe button. Till next time.